Heading at 5.4.2 at page 126, SM3. Thank you. The main heading reads at 5.4.2, mandate, murder and robbery. You see where I'm reading?
Yes, I see.
And then below what we have quoted at 112, at page 12, comes out of 5.4.2.1, and you did, I think it was in response to Commissioner Khumalo's question, specifically point out that political murders and attempted murders are part of murder and robbery.
Yes.
It was in that context I say that you were saying
Yes.
a killing is a killing. Now, based on the responses that you've provided this morning to the various questions, would it be logical of all to accept that in the country, for as long as there is a killing, that automatically results under murder and robbery unit? Should we so conclude?
Correct.
Correct. And it doesn't need a task team to be established. It's a killing. We know where the mandate resides.
That's correct, except when, according to all of us or National Commissioner realizes that there is something exceptional or remarkable in a particular area for a particular reason, there would then be creation or establishment of a task team for that particular period or something that is happening there, flare up and so on. But generally,
yes,
all matters would fall under this.
Unless the National Commissioner, you said, and all of us, that including us in the room, who falls under the rubric of all of us.
In SAPS.
In SAPS?
Yes.
In SAPS, okay. So if it's in SAPS and you have made reference to National Commissioner, then it's unless the National Commissioner thinks otherwise and finds a need to establish a task team. So SAPS, that police service structure. Okay. Sorry, Minister, you nod. I forgot that the microphone doesn't record a nod or a shake of the head. So,
yes,
if you agree with me, thank you.
Yes, agreed.
Also, Minister, please just leave your microphones on, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the work study, the implementation plan prohibits establishment, and I use it in inverts, of task teams unless the National Commissioner has good reason to establish a task team where killings occur. It's a very inelegant kind of summary, but I'm trying to understand that. Are you saying anything? Are you saying that or anything close to that?
Yes, I'm saying something close to that. There would be a discussion to say that there is a bubble or there is something unusual happening in a particular area, and it requires this kind of remedy.
A discussion between who? Who's discussing in respect of that bubble? Where is that discussion held?
What we have regular meetings, or there are regular meetings at least once a week between the Minister and the National Commissioner, but there are also other meetings that get organized, not necessarily falling within what would be an adopted schedule, but there are also meetings which I had said would be quarterly of UNESCO, that is ministry and top management. Those are the meetings that I'm referring to where things would be discussed on a regular basis.
But you said the national commissioner will decide, so perhaps just to test, the establishment or the decision to establish or not to establish a task team, that's the sole preserve of the national commissioner. The national commissioner to decide that.
The National Commissioner has power to establish within his constitutionally allocated mandate to do so, much as the provincial one has also that kind of mandate.
Okay. So, as you call it a constitutional power, a constitutional mandate, and it's not surprising, it's that constitutional mandate that will override the effect of the Murray report that says no more task teams. But because the National Commissioner retains this constitutional power, he can still establish.
Yes, because that report or outcomes of the report of the work study do not, those outcomes do not necessarily override the constitutional mandate and do not even exclude possibility that there would be this kind of reaction by management of police and even ministry or combined when a situation so demands.
Yes. And therefore the establishment of a task team by the National Commissioner in those circumstances will not draw us back to the crisis you had on the 31st of December with the political killings task team in that it was operating outside the SAPS organizational structure and that had become both administratively and constitutionally untenable. At least we will not have that situation.
No.
Okay. So there's a bundle next to you. It's marked exhibit bundle.
There's one of two and two of two.
Indeed.
Which one?
Indeed. Apologies for the confusion. Two of two. Two of two. Sorry, before you leave the Minister. Minister, I hope you haven't closed our Murray report at SM3 at page 126. That remains open. Thank you. So we know from the Murray report that the mandate of murder and robbery, as it reads, and I'm reading from the document, including taxi violence. So all killings, political, I don't know what other murders are there. I don't want to say normal murders. There is no such notion. Attempted murder, killings arising from taxi violence, all that now sits within murder and robbery unit. And that was the line of march from the day of approval of this report.
Yes.
I've called for the exhibit file. If you could go to exhibit CJC 55.13, it's quite a mouthful, and page 371. She'll help find the right flag for you. 371 is an information note. If we go further to page 373 and 374, those are the signature pages, with National Commissioner appending his signature at 374 and approving this, this document from 9 December 2024 to the 28th of February 2025, correct? You see where I'm reading?
Correct.
Now, if I invite you to go back to 371, the heading of this document is called an information note, and I think we have seen a few of those. It's a request for funding, Eastern Cape report on taxi violence and extortion-related matters. I'm reading the top of the document. It is numbered and with headings, and under item 1, purpose, it reads, the purpose of this document is to present information to the reader regarding the tasking by the Minister of Police on murder-related taxi violence and extortion in East London, Butterworth. End of quote. Do you see that?
I see that, correct.
So I understand from a reading of that clause, that paragraph, that the Minister of Police, and I accept that, that's yourself, Minister.
Correct.
You called for and tasked, and I'll use that term guardedly, I'll put it in inverts. I'm not suggesting that you may, you have, or I accept that you have the power to task the National Commissioner to establish a task team, but I'm taking it from the document. But you tasked the National Commissioner to establish a task team to deal with murder-related taxi violence and extortion in East London and Butterworth. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you so tasked him.
That's correct.
Why didn't you trust the murder and robbery unit, which in terms of page 126, stipulates that that includes taxi violence? Why didn't you instruct that it be dealt by that unit? Because we know that was the line of march from 2019.
It falls within what I explained yesterday. It's correctly written there. Asked the National Commissioner, who in turn tasked Major General Zulu. Major General Zulu is in charge of, it's not the units in the form of taxi violence or serious, and she is in charge of combat units like task force, like National Intervention Unit, TRT, and so on. So the kind of situation that arose there, we discussed it with National Commissioner. They were going to go there to reinforce via combat capacity, reinforce the murder and robbery with their taxi subunit in the Eastern Cape because it had elements that required an extra kind of capacity that would come in the form of combat units. So that she was not going to establish a team, a task team. She was merely going to reinforce what is on the ground, but via something different, which is a combat unit. That's what I was talking to you yesterday, saying we decided in the new structure that there should be a separate division of a number of combat units so that they could assist specialized units and uniformed police on the ground.
Okay, I would like to then draw your attention to page 372 of the same document overleaf. And at 2.5, it reads, in order for the subs to have a breakthrough and successful operations and convictions to combat mentioned crimes, a team consisting of 10 members led by Major General Zulu is formed, and then they are listed there. How different is the is what's set out at 2.5, except presumably for size? How different is that from a task team in the form of the PKTT?
Now, the principles are the same in a way. A problem has been identified in the Eastern Cape. Extra or reinforcement is required. It comes in that form. They go there, they do the work. It's specific and time-bound, and at the end of that period, they then pull out. Now, in the same as PKTT was established, it was established for 6 months, deal with political killings, and then you are time-bound after 6 months, and after time, once murder and robbery has been fully established in KZN, you would be